Good morning and welcome to the AM News here on the AM Show. Our very first story this morning, residents of Cape Coast who have been waiting on the construction of a new harbour since the governing New Patriotic Party won the 2020 elections may have their hopes dashed. According to President Akufo-Addo, that infrastructure project was never a part of the list of commitments tabled before him for his second term. He emphatically stated the commitment was never to a harbour, it was to a landing site.
And for the people of Cape Coast, I have good news for you. We are building a new harbour in Cape Coast and a new airport in Cape Coast.
Emphatic statements from the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, when the New Patriotic Party launched the 2020 manifesto. His statement was captured in page 160. Residents of Cape Coast have been eager for the harbour project, but according to President Akufo-Addo, the harbour was never part of the list of commitment tabled for his second term.
First of all, there's a clarification. The commitment was never to a harbour, it was to a landing site.
Okay.
It's very, very important. And you look inside the MPP, page 88 of the MPP manifesto for the 2020 election, it was clear. And there are several landing sites that we have in the central region that are ongoing. Let me read you some of them of the landing sites that they have. And there's the phase, for the first phase of the landing sites in the central region involves Sinyabreku, which is what, 92, nearly 93% complete. Elmina, 13% complete. Moray, 78% complete. Winneba, 57% complete. And Gomoa Fete, 90% complete. And Mumford, 79, 80% complete. So that is the first phase of the landing sites that we're going to build. The second phase includes Cape Coast. And the idea would be that, once again, next year, that initiation will take place. So as far as the harbour, we have to be very clear in our mind.
The President read from page 88 of the manifesto, which clearly stated a landing site for Cape Coast. The Vice President also read from page 160, clearly stating that the harbour will be built for the people of Cape Coast. Will it be a harbour or a landing site? Well, it appears we have to take the number one gentleman's word for it.
We never committed ourselves. I never said I was going to build a harbour in Cape Coast. I said I was going to build a landing site.
Stop under-declaring revenues. That's a charge from the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey to newly appointed Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives. Available records show that in the year 2019, internally generated revenue for the Greater Accra region was more than 155 million Ghana cedis. In the year 2020, the figure dropped to about 147. That's a difference of more than 8 million Ghana cedis. Questioning what is accounting for the dip in numbers, Mr. Henry Quartey urged MMDCEs to intensify revenue collection and declaration at the assembly level.
In spite of the fact that some revenue resources have been devolved into district assemblies, such as rates, lands and royalties, business operating permits, fees, fines, and rents, mobilization of internally generated funds, that is the IGF, plugged with inefficiencies which undermine the ability of the MMDCAs, to realize the full potential of local revenue. Let me pause there and say something small for this side. I am particularly interested in this area. I don't know if there are revenue collectors here. Are they here? But you are in charge of all that. It pains my heart that places in the CBD will say that they cannot raise IGF enough to sustain their projects. That is, if there is any at all. And so let it not be an annual budget hearing just for the paperwork. But I think that as leaders, as professionals, I charge you to go back to your respective assemblies and ensure that those leakages in revenue generations are dealt with. Available records indicate that the Greater Accra region mobilized a total IG of 123,977,894 cedis, 76 pesos in 2017. In 2019, it accounted for 40.13% of the national IGF collection, but dropped to from 155 in 2019. It dropped to 147,396,929 cedis in 2020, which stood at 37.45% of the national IGF collection. Clearly, ordinarily, one would have thought that Greater Accra, being a cosmopolitan region that sees the movement of people in and out daily, and perhaps even the numbers increasing, our IGF should increase. But rather, as you can see, it's dropped from 40-something percent to 37. Something is not right. And that's something, please, let's check it.
Now, the opposition NDC is demanding the immediate removal of all taxes imposed on petroleum products since the assumption of office of the NPP administration. The NDC argues that the 60% increase in revenue from the country's oil sector makes it untenable for government to still maintain the taxes. Communications Officer of the NDC, Sammy Gyamfi, addressing the media on the recent hikes in fuel prices, observed that in spite of about 45% increase in fuel prices this year alone, only 4% has been handed over to public sector workers, a situation he believes will bring hardship on the ordinary Ghanaian. Sammy Gyamfi believes the hikes in fuel prices is due to the bad leadership under the Akufo-Addo administration. There's more in the following report.
The NDC Communications Officer Sammy Gyamfi began the press conference by reminding Ghanaians on some comments made by then-candidate Akufo-Addo and his running mate, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Has no sympathy for Ghanaians. This is Dr. Bawumia. So let nobody accuse Sammy Gyamfi and the NDC for doing politics with fuel prices. This is the standard they subjected President Mahama to. Now, can we go to the next slide? Quickly. This was, I believe, a tweet he made sometime in May 2015. And this is what the economic whiskey of the NPP said about fuel prices. I feel really sad this morning for the ordinary Ghanaian, the hardworking people who have to endure the insensitive decision to increase fuel prices at this time. Next slide. Now, this was also a tweet by candidate Akufo-Addo, then in opposition, on the 6th of December 2016, a day to the December 7, 2016 elections. And this is what he had to say. I have seen how drivers, both private and commercial, struggle to pay for the high prices of fuel and insurance premiums. Hashtag vote Akufo-Addo.
Mr. Gyamfi also attributed the high cost of living experienced under the current administration to bad leadership and mismanagement of the economy. He added there is no justification for the fuel hikes, insisting price of foodstuffs have shot up astronomically, a situation he believes is burdening the taxpayer.
A 50 kg bag of cement that was sold at 27 Ghana cedis in the year 2016 is being sold at 52 Ghana cedis today, and even in some cases above that price. A ton of iron rods, 16 mm iron rods, that was sold at about 2,800 Ghana cedis in 2016 is today selling at 5,300 Ghana cedis. While a packet of aluminium roofing sheets that was sold at about 520 Ghana cedis in 2016 is being sold at about 1,200 cedis today.
Former President John Mahama